I'm gonna press stuff and see what happens.
Go on then. Oh yeah, there you go. Normally my outtakes are at the end of the video, but just so that you know the conditions I have to work under to bring you a video, I'm going to put some of this stuff at the beginning. Oh, you bugger. Go on then. Just show me some scenery.
Oh, no.
Yeet.
I did it. So it was a pretty good drone, it was pretty stable. Well, when we drove it into a bunch of stuff, it was fine, so yeah.
Is that it?
I don't know.
Hi, welcome back to Stupid Fast RC. We've been a little bit slow off the mark this year getting back to you with some videos because we've been on holidays. In fact, I've been in holiday mode so much that I just recorded half a video and didn't turn the camera on. So, let's get down to business. What are we doing this year? Well, we are having a quick look here at the E58 Eachine pocket drone. Now, Eachine is actually a pretty good brand. I rate Eachine gear, cheap, toy grade, well, they're slightly better than toy grade. Eachine gear that we get from Banggood is actually pretty good. Now, why on earth would we do this, I hear you ask? And I say that because quite often when we do these low-end drones, people give us a lot of thumbs down. Now, the reason for that is that this is an entry level, and I think it's important to remember that not everyone has the cash to buy something worth $1,000, for example, or 500 to 1,000, depending where you are, you know, what sort of deals you can get, that sort of stuff. That we will be having a look at later. That is a Traxxas Atom, not on today's video, but you may remember before Christmas we had a look at the Ghost Plus, which has been around for a couple of years as well, but you know, it's got a payload of 3/4 of a kilo, can go a kilometre away, massive capability, follow me, all that sort of stuff, and we crashed it. So anyway, but that's not the point. The point is this: you need to start somewhere. You need to work out what it is that you want to do in drone world. And you know, I was chatting to some people online earlier today, and if you haven't had a look already, have a look at the community section on YouTube. That's we had it as a beta. I don't know if everyone's seen that yet, but there's been a few hundred people that have sort of come online and made some comments and stuff. We've done some surveys, which has been great. I'm finding out what you guys like, what you look at, what's important to you in RC tech, where did you start from, that sort of stuff. So we're finding out that a lot of guys have cars. That's predominantly the people that watch our channel. They have remote control cars, they like electric cars, and they bash. So you know, these surveys are important to us, and you'll see them as well. You'll see what other people are doing. So, and that's pretty much where we started. Taking it back a couple of steps, we started with the first cars that we got back into the hobby with were nitro cars, which were HPI Savage X's. We've got 3 of them, 4 including the twin engines. So we've done a bit of a long journey through this, where we went from that, we bought some petrols, we bought other nitros, electrics, and then, you know, we never had anything that flew right in the beginning. So we've kind of morphed into that as well. And people are saying online on some of their surveys that that is definitely a way that people are going. People are sort of looking at anything that has a remote control and having a go, which is what we're doing. So what I'm suggesting to you is, before you spend $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 on a drone, maybe you get into some smaller stuff first, figure out what it is you're going to do with it, because if you buy something like that and it sits on a shelf, or you fly it 2 or 3 times, it's not really good value. Whereas this, you know, we've got a drawer full of these things, and you know, some of them will land and take off in water. Some of them have got cameras, some of them don't. Some of them we smash with water bombs. You know, it's just a range of things. Some of them are just pure fun. There are others that we had a pair of them, and I don't know if you remember one of the videos, there were a pair of fighting drones. They were awesome. You just pair up with someone on your phone, iPad, and have a bit of a battle, which was great. So there are all sorts of different reasons that you might pick up a drone. Now this one in particular, this looks like the Mavic. In the same way, it has as much in common with the Mavic as I do with Tom Cruise. And you might say, well, that's ridiculous, but we were born in the same year. So that's where the similarity, I think, apart from some appearance, begins and ends. Because this clearly feels, you know, like a toy, and it is. But as I said, and as I've sort of explained now, that there's a reason for this. This means that you can take a cheap toy, have a go at it and see if you like it, and see if you actually would use it and why you would use it. And if you totally destroy it accidentally, which is going to happen, right? That's going to happen with the big ones. I mean, that happened to our Ghost Plus. We destroyed it. So we are going to try and fix it. We're going to get parts. That's a whole other story. But the bottom line to this is it's a cheap entry level. So it will take video in a sort of smallish sort of space. You can, and it's not bad. And it looks, you know, disturbingly and, you know, quite naughty, you might say, like the Mavic. And apart from the size and its capability. So let's get this out. Whoa, and I'm throwing it away. Let's get this out, put it together, and see what we can do with it. Okay, so what's in the box? We have one drone with folding propellers and arms, like so. Battery goes in there. You get a mini SD card. It actually doesn't come with it, right? So you got to get your own mini SD card and 2 batteries, happily, which is kind of cool. That doesn't happen all that often these days. The battery charges outside of the drone itself, and you may want to get yourself one of these. I'm going to bring the camera in clumsily and just show you. Oh look, God, there's my tea and all sorts of shit here. Anyway, this is what I'm talking about here. This is kind of a handy little thing that I bought online on Banggood. Tells you what volts and what amps is going in. So this goes to 0 when it's charged. Now you don't get these just anyway. Oh, you will have to excuse the mess. I know somebody's going to comment, tidy your bench. Yeah, okay. So here we go. So that's oh, here I am. Here, I'm back here. Now that's a good thing, because if you're charging lots of different batteries like this, you'll know when they're charged. Even your phone, right? So that's a bit more handy than it looks. Controller, I've showed you that. You've got little protectors that just snap in, which is good, because screwing stuff together, you know, at this level is pretty annoying. So we've got little blade protectors. We will put them on in this case. Why not? Let's see what that looks like. So that's kind of convenient too. So even if you were out and about, putting the blade protectors on is going to be pretty simple. I'm guessing them coming off is going to be simple as well. We do have 4 spare blades, a screwdriver that didn't come with it, and a conversion card which also didn't come with it. A manual. Manuals, look, I recommend that you read the manuals. Not so much on these drones. I mean, obviously you're going to have a look if you've never done it before, but on bigger drones it's a must. If you get a drone that's, you know, worth multiple hundreds of dollars, you must read the manual. You must read the manual in terms of what it says about flight paths, restrictions. I mean, this thing here isn't necessarily going to fly outside the laws and regulations, but for example, in this Traxxas zone, you know, you've got to stay within 122 meters, all that sort of stuff. This thing probably can't even do that sort of thing anyway, but you've got to stay away from crowds. There's a whole bunch of things in here that you need to know that apply to drones universally across the planet. And there's just some safety things as well. You know, you drop a big drone into a crowd, you're going to hurt someone. These things weigh a lot. These guys here, not so much. I mean, you'd be pretty unlucky to hurt someone, but still you've got to observe the rules. But with a bigger drone, it's a must. You can't take any risks or muck around with those things. So enough said. I'm going to charge the battery and we're going to take it for a flight. Now, one of the things I forgot is it does have an app, and there's a nice little slidey out thing there if you're comfortable. It actually makes it quite heavy, but you can actually hang your phone off the bottom of this. Okay, so now we can see what this looks like with the app. JY, what the heck was it called? JY UFO. Now I've had this app downloaded for a different Eachine device that we had before, so that's what that looks like. God, I really need to tidy up that end of the shed. So let's not look at that. So once you've got the app plugged in, it's just a simple matter of start and stop. What I didn't show you before was this neat little interface here, which allows you some control of the drone here as well as here. I think this is a lot better from a tactile point of view because you can feel where they are, whereas once you're on the actual phone, it requires a little bit of practice to actually get used to using that sort of phone interface where you're just feeling your finger slide around the glass as opposed to feeling the pressure of the springs pushing back. So something to be said for that, I think.
Oh my god, it did.
Okay.
What button was that?
The one that says emergency stop.
Okay, do it again.
Backward. No, go. Backward.
Hey, whatever you did that time wasn't right. Flip. Okay, take it up too high and flip it, mate.
No! Oh,
It's pretty robust, isn't it? Just show me some scenery. Slowly, Tom, slowly, don't pan it so quickly. What's wrong?
I don't know. Whoa!
Is it fast?
Not enough on the wind.
Oh, it's little, right?
Oh, tree. Good shot, sir. Sure.
Whoa, where'd you go?
Oh, no.
Yeet.
Oh, what? Hey, it does side flip? Yeah, it only side flip.
Okay, can you bring it close so I can see it?
Yeah. I drive it on the side. This side. Oh, okay, forward.
I missed it.
Alright.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Come on. Very good. That's ready? I'll grab down. What? Win. Up.
Hey, don't forget to subscribe and watch these crazy videos too. Stupid fast awesome.